Hi, my name is Oladimi Jajagbile. That's for those who don't know me. And if you're sort of coming across this video or this channel for the very first time, I'm a designer and podcaster, and I currently reside in Ibadan, Nigeria. It's been a while I've made a video that sort of wasn't planned or that had a proper structure. And this is one of those kind of videos. I usually do videos like this in the past, but then I just sit down, set up the camera, and just talk, like rant, and hope people understand what I'm talking about. I happen to be someone who is always very careful in getting the details right. I always want to go really deep into, sort of find the nitty gritty between a whole lot of things, like a bunch of things. But then I found myself over the past few weeks, the past few months, just going with the flow, not really planning things out. Let's just see how it goes. Try something, it works. Try something, it doesn't work, and get to a point where I can just hold myself and say, okay, you've tried it, it worked, it didn't work, it's all good. And I can tell you for a fact that I've gotten mind-blowing results. Take for example, I started doing this weird dance on Instagram where there was I found a really interesting sound, and I did a couple of dance stuff to the sound, and then people resonated with it, and then it went all over the place. And what that taught me was that there are times where you will work really, really hard, putting the time, the energy, the effort into a particular thing, and it won't perform well. And then you would spend the smallest or the most insignificant amount of time on a different thing, and then that is what people really would love the most. And it just brings me to a point where I started to sort of question a couple of things, right? That there is this certain attachment we have to what we create or to what we love, that it gets us heartbroken along the way. You spend so much time trying to get these things right, and then you get to a point now you are heartbroken. It just doesn't work out. It just doesn't make sense. It gets scary along the way. Things happen that don't get you the result you really want, and then you are downcasted, you're devastated, you are just heartbroken. I'm telling you, these things can actually break your heart. I've had similar experiences, but I won't share with you in this video. Now, many people would want to hide under the shadow or under the facade of everybody's creating content, everybody's doing something amazing, I have to as well. But then you really don't have to have everything figured out. And then that brings to mind a newsletter I wrote to a group of persons on my newsletter, I think some 2 or 3 weeks ago, talking about stillness, being present, not really worrying too much about the past, but really focusing more on what is going on right now. And you know what? Let me read it to you. Maybe that would make more sense. Let me see if I can find it. It was titled "Stillness is so overrated, so underrated." And let me just read. So we live in times that push our minds to be quick to move from one thing to another. All through the day, we float between our fears of the future and our disappointments of the past, all while we're stuck in the middle trying to make sense of it all. Whoever is listening to this or reading this, let stillness remind you that in this present moment, you don't have to figure it all out right here, right now. Yes, there are things that needs to be sorted through, but this moment is also calling you to breathe deep and realize in this very moment you are gathering the strength you need that will prepare you for what is to come. You're right where you need to be, so cherish the present because they make the past worth it and make the future possible. And I ended it with heavy highs, your partner in figuring life out, Tim. So if you are not subscribed to my newsletter, you might probably want to consider subscribing. You get to see very amazing, things I write like this. There are a number of things that would really put you I'll put things in perspective to make you really understand that no matter how hard it is you try, some things won't work out. Like, I've gotten so comfortable with that realization that no matter how I plan everything out, it won't work out exactly the way I've planned it. So what do? I let things slide once in a while. I'm someone that if everything don't go my way, I can become so sad and so upset that anybody who comes around me will probably notice that this guy is not his best self. And it is not intentional. It's just the way I am, right? I feel like there is more to us than what we see outside, what people put on social media. You can genuinely be the person you want to be, even on a social space. You can be yourself on Instagram, you can be yourself on Twitter or wherever it is. But one thing you have to sort of hold to art, like I have, is to realize that everything can't go the way you've planned it. It's not in your control to a great extent. So why worry when we could just take it a step at a time, one day at a time, and let it go? Like I said, this conversation is just all over the place. So let me go back to the original thing we started with. Now, we get overly attached to our piece of work that we create, and then it puts us in a place where if it doesn't do well, we take the fall for it. Take, for example, let's say I spent 10 days making a YouTube video and it doesn't really do well. I can become really, really, put down because that video didn't perform, because people didn't watch it, because, maybe I posted at the wrong time or something, or nothing just didn't work out well. My spirit can be down. And then for the next 7 to 8 days or even 2 months, I won't create anything because I spent so much time on one video that didn't do well. And then, I'm all heartbroken. So this is my takeaway, or this is your takeaway from this, or this is what I feel your takeaway should be from this. Yes, create good work. Yes, put in the time, put in the energy, put in the work, be consistent, and do all those beautiful and amazing things I've told you in the past. But in this particular one, I'm trying to say right now is, even when it doesn't work out, how do you handle it? Do you take it as, yes, a defeat, or you advance and you say, you know what, I've learned something from this, and let me keep moving. There is a very big world out there. In your lifetime, you create so many pieces of work. So why allow just a very tiny part of that ruin your entire day and make you feel like it was all not worth it eventually?